Hello YouTube! I'm going to be covering Project Zomboid Hydrocraft patch mod. It's still the same as Hydrocraft, but there's just a little bit of tweaks to some of the recipes. If you're like me, you always are annoyed with 30-minute videos, always clicking around in between certain parts to try and find that little bit of information that you need. And you finally find it, and you found yourself spending 10 minutes clicking around through a video in order to find it. To help combat that, I would like to do videos in 4 minutes or less covering very certain specific things, so that way you're not stuck clicking around. I do stream on Twitch Thursday through Saturday 6 p.m. to 11 p.m. and Sundays from 1 p.m. to 8 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. If you find the video helpful, please leave a like and subscribe. I keep my cam off for the video so that way there's more that you can see and there's nothing in the way. 3 books to be on the lookout for are the Fungi Field Guide, the Flower Field Guide, and the Tree Field Guide. Besides learning the recipes from the books, when you have all 3 inside your inventory, you'll be able to right click on any of the books to do Gather Flora. There are a lot of items that Gather Flora can give you for crafting, surviving, and building. The reasoning behind getting those 3 books and using Gather Flora is it will help level up your foraging, especially if you use a skill book. There are many items that the Gather Flora will give you, and you're going to want to hold on to a lot of those. The acorn is especially important. Hopefully in your travels you've come across a leatherworking textbook. If you need to, pause here to read. The leatherworking book will teach you how to make a bucket of tannin. This is important for later on. The recipe is a full bucket of water plus an acorn. You might be saying, how do I make a bucket of water? On my last video of Carpentry and Hydrocraft in 5 minutes or less, I mentioned that I would go over wooden blocks. Wooden blocks relate to making a wooden bucket because you will have to make a wooden ring. You will have to have a carpentry of level 1. The wooden ring will be used in the recipe to make a wooden bucket, which will require 2 planks, 2 nails, a wooden ring, rope, a saw, a hammer, and one of the following items: a cordless drill with power, a flint tapped bow drill, a hand drill, or a powered multi-tool with a drill. Above will be some recipes in order to make wooden blocks. You can make 9 with a saw and a log. You can make 12 with a log and a lumber saw, 12 with a log saw and sawbuck, or 15 with a log, a lumber saw, and a sawbuck. I'll briefly go over how to make a sawbuck again if you didn't watch the previous video. It is 6 logs, 10 planks, 10 nails, a hammer, and a saw. You will also need carpentry level 4. When using a sawbuck, you also get a little bit of dust from any logs you saw beside it. I highly recommend that you saw all your logs beside the sawbuck for the extra plank and the sawdust it can provide. So back onto the main point though, before I got a little sidetracked. Now that you have your bucket, go ahead and fill it up with some water, and then the bucket plus the acorn will give you a bucket of tannin. In return, you will get back 1 soaked acorn, and that has its own recipes, which are pretty good. I won't have enough time to continue going on with the rest of the video because it will become a little more in depth with hunting and how to get a kiln from clay, but if you were to happen to find 3 bags of either gray clay or red clay, not a mixture, hold on to them. And also, if you go out foraging, you try to find some poop from random animals and hold on to them. I greatly appreciate you guys watching the video. I hope to see you guys on the next one. And with my last video, I'm very grateful to everybody that spent their time watching the video. I was pretty surprised that it went over 300 views. Thank you.